I am excited. I got to say, I'm like a little kid. I'm just giddy about this thing. So the pride comes from a pride of lions, and it's about being a part of not just a group, but being a part and being the best version of yourself and being who you were designed and what the world needs. And so it is both impactful as far as personal mentorship. You get to learn from all the mistakes that I've made. You get to learn from some of the great the wisdom from the past, the people who have poured into my life, and the things that have been poured out from generations through mentors that I've had personally. And so it is my goal and my privilege really to sort of tear down the wall, take the mask down of everything that you want people to think, and really give the raw best stuff that I have and pour into you and duplicate some of what I have and some of the things that I've benefited from into your life. So there's that personal connection as well as being a part of a group. So each class will come through this 12-month program that we've built. When we were at Expo, and I don't know if you remember this, there was a QR code up on the screen for people to take a survey who might have some interest in this. And I'll be real frank with you. I thought, oh my God, we're going to put this up there and nobody's going to want to do it. Yeah. One of the things that's my own, sort of thought process, but just the response was overwhelming. There were 1,600 people in the room and tons of phones went up, and I thought, okay, well, then we can make something. And so there was a questionnaire on there that gave us responses that we were looking for to be able to build a program. And so what I've done is taken the 12 most commonly repeated phrases that people want to build on and built a 12-month program out of that. And that 12-month program, the first 6 months will be us working on you specifically, on you as a person, on you as a husband, a mother, a father, whatever it is, as a person. And then ultimately the next 6 months is about how you deal with other people as a result of what you discovered about yourself. And so it's designed to build leaders, to grow people on a level that makes them as successful as they can be. And not just successful in monetary reasons and all this, but successful meaning satisfied and effective. And so it's equal parts virtual, in person. We will have, as a group, we will have meetings throughout the year at different places where we can get together and have that camaraderie as well, at the same time learning these lessons. So virtual, in person, meetings, one-on-ones, all these things included with that. But at the same time, there'll be some challenges issued. Every month when we meet, we're going to discuss a new topic. And in that topic, we're going to discover a new truth. And once that truth is discovered, we're going to issue a new challenge. And that challenge is how we will begin our next meeting. So it's very important, very cool.
Yeah. Why is it important to I've seen you, speak, and I've seen you train, and when you give a great speech, I'm like, wow, but you walk away and you can kind of leave the message behind if you don't want to be intentional with it. But in this, you're going to challenge folks, to really step outside themselves and to push themselves. Why is that important to challenge them in this fashion?
Because growth happens when we're uncomfortable, and there may be challenges that you're completely comfortable with and that you absolutely nail, but there are going to be some that pull you outside of who you are and help you discover a version of yourself, or at least a piece of yourself that you didn't know existed. It's gonna push you to do more. It's going to push you to become more. It's going to push you to maybe face some things that you haven't for decades. And it's through that process of discomfort that we grow. It gives us a series of victories as well when we realize that we can overcome it, or if we failed in the process, what did we learn from it? Those victories lead to momentum, which ultimately leads to a wave of accomplishment. So that's our goal, and we're excited to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And you talked about the first 6 months is kind of you're working in group. There's group meetings, and then there's the individual meetings. And
right.
And you talked about really honing in on what that individual needs to become it's not just a better business person, a better person, right? And
right.
I think that is so important. And a lot of people go, "Well, I want to have a better business." But I'll tell you what, this, I do. How many times I've seen members, business owners, they've got something going on in their personal life. It touches every single thing, including their business. We business owners watching, listening, you know it. If you got a great employee and all of a sudden, what's going on with Joe or Jay? It's something in their personal life. So talk about, what you expect in those one-on-ones. How are you going to help guide people? How much personalization is there? Maybe speak to that component of it.
Yeah, the personalization is, when we can build a program based on what might be good for a lot of people, and I believe it's ultimately impactful. I think it's great stuff. But narrowing it down to where you are in this season of life and what you need is going to be the most impactful thing that we can do. I'm looking for some real breakthroughs. I'm looking for some people to face some things that they've been putting off. I'm looking for the opportunity to shape and build something that is there. You just don't know how to put language to it. You don't know quite how to wrap your mind around it. Let me help you discover what that gift is and why it's there and what we can do with it. How you can use that to not only better yourself, but better your family, better the people that you're responsible for. And so that shaping and that individualization of it is something that's unique to the person. So,
and I think with a lot of our folks, they're used to being the big dog, the leader on top of the food. They're not, they got to worry about everyone else. They don't look introspectively and think about themselves. I think that one-on-one, you're going to have an opportunity to work with them and maybe point out certain strengths that they didn't realize they had, or certain things that, I'm great at this. Maybe you're not, but let's get better at it, right? I think that's a really cool opportunity too.
Yeah, it is. And being able to pour into someone who's constantly pouring out to everyone else. As a leader, you've got people pulling on you in every direction. You've got the people that you're responsible for within your organization. You've got the people in the community that you're responsible for. And then you go home and your kids don't care how long you worked that day or what happened. They also need that. And so it feels like we're constantly being pulled on, and we can only give what we have. And once that cup is empty, we start to burn out. I've seen people develop health problems and things as a result of just constantly going and never taking that time to sit back and allow someone to invest in them. And so my goal is to be someone who pours into you, to keeps that cup full, because if that cup is full, then you fill the cups of other people. And if that's missing, even if it's not me, find someone who will speak into your life. Find someone who will continue to build you so that you can continue to do this for a long time.
Yeah. On these group sessions, I've had the benefit of meeting with you and talking about this, being a sounding board of some sort. And it was interesting, all they scanned the code and they entered the things how many similarities there were. And there's really 12, I thought, really strong ideas that you can work on that I think really can impact anyone at any stage of business, in any stage of life, because there are just certain truths that I'm like, this is something that can really benefit you. Maybe talk about what did you think about that when you saw those commonalities and how interesting that was?
Well, the first thing it let me know is that we're doing the right thing. It let me know that there is definitely a need for this, and that people are experiencing this more common than you think. The other things that I was surprised. I was surprised by some of the responses, because it's not something that we normally would promote. It's not something that people would go, oh, well, I didn't know I could get that from CertainPath. These are things that people are genuinely, so I know that the responses are genuine, but there's some really good stuff in there. There's some things that are going to not only help them personally, they're going to help them financially. They're going to help them, all these different things. And so I was really kind of overwhelmed by just the response that we got and how similar along the line people are thinking. It lets me know that need is there, and it lets me know that, hey, even though I feel like I might be on an island sometimes, that there's an entire group of people who are experiencing the same thing. And so we could actually absolutely attack this thing together and really make each other better.
Yeah. And you said something to me in meeting about this program, The Pride, that I want people to learn how to build a more effective life. Maybe that was something that kind of caught me cold. I wrote it down. And what does that mean to you, building an effective life?
Building an effective life means that you are doing something that is impacting people other than yourself. When you're effective, you have an effect on something or someone outside of who you are. And I think that that if we're pouring our life into this thing, that we want to know at the end of the day that what we're doing matters.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone at the end of the day go, "Oh, I wish I had more money." At the end of their life on their deathbed, they don't say those things. They say, "I wish I had been more intentional about family. I wish I had been more intentional about making an impact. I wish I would have wrote that book. I wish I would have wrote that song. I wish I would have done," and these regrets. And so we want to eliminate those regrets by being as effective as we possibly can in every moment. And if we're not the best version of ourselves, if there are things that are nagging us that we need to overcome, then let's do that, and let's do it together. And let's really see what it looks like to build something that build a life that matters.